The 9th generation Civic is nearing the end of its road, but it is still one of the segment's best.
Nonetheless, it's impossible to ignore Kia's meteoric rise in popularity over the past 4 years.
Can Korean bang for your buck beat Japanese sensibility? Time to find out.
What we have here are two very easy to drive cars. The steering in the Civic is a good mix between effort and responsiveness for an everyday car. It may not be the sporty, compact car it used to be, but the Civic still knows its way around a corner. The engine is decent, but it's the CVT that makes this car really shine. And there's this small, sporty steering wheel that gives the car a little bit of a fun edge. Speaking of steering, the Forte's feels really artificial. It fluctuates at low speeds and it is really hard to gauge. But the rest of the Forte, like the brakes and the throttle response, are predictable enough. The same could be said about the engine and transmission of the Forte. They're decent, but nothing spectacular. And when it comes to fuel economy, that favors the Civic, which managed to get 34.1 miles per gallon compared to the Forte's 31.4.
I find the front seat in the Forte really comfortable, but Sammy does not. The low dashboard and the steeply raked hood do give great forward visibility. The Civic seat is plusher feeling and a little more comfortable, except for one issue. The lumbar support is set way too aggressive and it's just poking into my lower back. Headroom, as always, is still an issue in the Civic as well. It's like the seat won't go low enough and my head's always brushing the roof liner. The Civic's trunk is also on the small side. The Forte sedan has nearly an extra cubic foot of space, and when you go to the hatch, it grows way more. Headroom, legroom, and the armrests are all quite nice in the back of the Forte. Our one complaint has to do with the seat cushion that's a little too flat and could be angled a bit more. Headroom for rear seat passengers in the Civic is a little tight and the armrests aren't quite in the right spot, but legroom is okay and the seat cushion is quite nice.
The Civic's interior is another area where me and Mike just can't seem to agree. He calls it boring, and while the build quality is excellent, some of the materials they use here are a little cheap. I find the design really good. I love the multi-layered view and all of the screens up high for you to see while you're driving. But if there's one thing I would criticize, it's this Honda Link Infotainment System. If you think my Ford Touch is bad, wait till you get to use this. The interior of the Forte is simple and not very stylish. And although Mike is driving a lower trim level model, it can still be equipped with things like a heated rear seat, a heated steering wheel, ventilated front seats, and HID headlights.
The Forte remains a good value, starting at just $16,715 after destination charges. Compared to a Civic, that's almost $2,500 cheaper. But a Forte 5 with all the available options and the turbocharged engine will break over $28,000. Still, no matter which Forte you choose, they all come with Kia's excellent 5-year comprehensive 10-year powertrain warranty. Honda can't match that.
The Civic and Forte are both easy to live with, sensible choices.
But when the scores were tallied, the Forte's value, practicality, and ease of use just couldn't be beat, as it takes the win in this comparison of practical cars.